Okay, let's try this again. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is DJ coming at you. What's happening? It's Saturday evening, as you can tell. It's getting dark outside. I'm out on my Honda Grom. Just figured I'd do a little update. Right now, I put 106 miles on the bike on this Saturday evening. There she is. The Grom, the Honda Grom. How's it doing? Okay. Well, first off, I'd like to give a little update on the YSS Stage 2 shock right there. Since I got over 200 miles on that suspension right now, I'd like to say that I am very impressed with this rear shock that I put on the Grom. I did it myself. It's very easy to do. No sense of paying anybody to do it. But the YSS Stage 2 shock is awesome. Originally, as I mentioned before, I was going to get the Olin shock, but I decided to not spend $450 that I don't have anyway, and just get the YSS Stage 2 shock. It was like $124 with shipping, like $60 shipping, came up to $189, something like that. So anyway, I'm very impressed with that shock. It is adjustable, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The YSS Stage 2 shock is adjustable, okay? So that's an awesome thing to have. So I would tell anybody, if you're going to get a Honda Grom, you have to get the rear shock, a rear shock upgrade. If you weigh over 160 pounds, I would recommend highly, very highly, I recommend that, because I'm 200 pounds and that stock shock, you know, I did 7,000 miles on the rear stock shock and it was bottoming out quite often. And you know, it's embarrassing that the Honda even put that on the motorcycle in the first place. So yeah, not a good thing. But with that new Stage 2 shock on the Honda Grom, this bike is running, I mean, is doing great. It does awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. For a little 125cc motorcycle. Doing really good. So, I highly recommend it. Oh, I'm good. I'm okay. Just making a video. Thank you. Thank you. That was some nice people pulling over to check and see if I was okay. That's so sweet. We got some really nice people in the world. But anyway, I'm riding my Honda, back to the Honda Grom. Yeah, like I was saying, the YSS Stage 2 shock is awesome. Awesome little motorcycle. Awesome. I mean, little suspension, rear suspension upgrade. But I would tell anybody, like I said, you have to do that if you get a Honda Grom. Do the rear upgrade and the suspension. Also, the front shock, okay? I had my Olin springs put in there. Olin suspensions, as you can see, I got the little logo there. Yeah, that's a must too, because when you get the bike stock, you hit the brakes, it tends to dive, and it'll dive so much that it will bottom out quite easily. But since I upgraded the front springs to the Olin kit, it does much better right now. It doesn't bottom out or anything when I'm on the road. It feels, I can actually say right now, the Grom actually feels like a full-fledged motorcycle, like it should be out of the box, so to speak. You know, Honda should have never sold this bike with the soft suspension in the front. I don't know why they did that. You know, in America, we got some big boys over here. You know, I'm a medium-sized, not even medium-sized dude, you know, but I weigh 200 pounds, and when I was riding in stock, it would bottom out quite often in the front end, and that's not a good thing. So with the Grom, that's something you'll have to do. Now, the 2018 version, I looked at it, and it seems to have the exact same setup as the 2015 version that I have. Okay, so it doesn't look like they changed anything in the suspension department. I don't know why. Kind of embarrassing for Honda. But other than that, the Grom is off the chain. I chose not to do any big bore anything to this motorcycle. I know a lot of guys are putting big bore kits in them. Remember, you void your warranty when you do that kind of stuff. If you do it, decide to do that, wait until your warranty's up, then do that. Don't do it, you know, run it like it is, I recommend, and until your warranty's up. And also, too, Honda's known for reliability. I don't want to lose that reliability by trying to add a big board kit to this bike. You know what I'm saying? I wish personally that this Grom was really like a 175, so you can have a little more oomph on the highway, but you know, the minimum speed limit in the US anyway is 45 miles an hour. You know, I call this my 50 mile an hour motorcycle. I'll be doing 50 something on the highway, 50 something. So, yeah. So I just stay in the slow lane. I stay to the right and I have no problems. I don't get people honking at me or anything. And I'm always on the highway, you know? I'm always on the highway. What else? I still have yet to do my second oil change. I'm at, let me see, check my mileage here. 7,544 miles. And that's still my first official oil change using M's oil metric synthetic 10W30. Still on that. I mean, this bike doesn't even use oil. I check my oil. I'm always on par with my oil. I think I've added oil to this bike maybe one time. And that was just a little bit. But yeah, it's not using any oil. It does really good. No oil leaks or anything. I mean, it's, you know, the Honda reliability. What else can I tell you about the bike? I highly recommend this bike to anybody that wants a simple, cheap, inexpensive bike that will get you anywhere. I mean, this bike is so cool because it's so light. You know, I use it as more of a dual sport bike. I go off-roading with it. I jump, you know, even jump some ramps with it. Not very high, mind you, but I've done that with it. Hit the trails. It's really fun on the trails. You can single track real well because it's so small. So that makes it a blast also. You don't have to have 600 cc's, even 250 cc's. This 125 will do you just fine. You'll be very impressed with the Honda Grom. So just remember, now though, for those of you who want a small bike like this, but want a little more acceleration, they have a bike by a company called Kimco that they just came out with, and I'm very interested in. It's called the Kimco Spade. It's actually a 150cc motorcycle, where the Honda Grom is a 125. This bike is a 150cc bike, and it actually has, what was I going to tell you? Yeah, it's a 150cc bike. Yeah, it's brand new, just came out for 2018. So that may be a bike you want to look into instead of, and it's a nice looking bike. Not quite as nice looking as a Grom, but it is a nice looking bike. That way, if you were to get that bike, you know, if you wanted a little more highway speeds, that would be the bike to get for you, I would say. I would highly recommend that. I've never ridden it, but I've read reviews on it, and it seems to have pretty good reviews. So I highly recommend that. What else can I tell you? Or at least checking it out. Me personally, you know, I'm cool. As long as I'm doing 50 something, I am good. I'm good. And this Grom has done me well. I've had it since 2016, got it brand new. When I'm on the highway, it even hits 60 at times, 62, 63 miles an hour, okay? But you'll always be able to do 50 something. So that's above the minimum. The minimum, again, in the United States is like 45 miles an hour. So what else can I tell you about the Grom? After 7,000 miles, I haven't had any problems. Haven't had to take it to the shop. Very reliable for me. Starts on a dime. What else? Very fun to ride. Very inexpensive. I've had my bike 2 years, and the only thing I've done is an oil changes, and what else? I'm still on the original tires. Now the back tire is getting low, so I am going to have to put some new tires on there sooner rather than later. The front tire is doing extremely well. The tread is still doing really good on the front, and I'm not going to switch that front out until it's ready to be, needs to be switched. So I'm going to put quite a few miles on it. What else can I say? Yeah, and I'm going to dual sport tires, knobby tires on the bike. I've always been into off-road, so I'll be putting dual sport tires on this bike. I plan on getting the Maxxis tires, but I'll do a little homework to see how those tires are doing long term. What else can I tell you? Okay, yeah, I don't really, all I have to say about the Honda Grom is that it's an extremely reliable bike. You know, Honda has that name behind them. Now, they got some other bikes that are you know, a little cheaper and stuff, but you know, sometimes it pays to just stick with the Honda quality, you know. Now, Honda's competitor, the Honda Grom's competitor would be the I think it's the Z125 by Kawasaki. I'm very interested in that bike. That may be another bike I may get down the future in a couple of years. Add to my collection. I don't need it, but I like it. Got to pay some bills off though before I can do that. But that's also a really nice little motorcycle. And you know, you got the Kawasaki name behind it. So you got two really good options. I wish that I'd love to see them come out with a dual sport mini bike, the street legal. Now Honda Grom, Honda did re-release the monkey bike, but it's like $4,000, and that's just too much money. You know, and actually I still like this bike better than what Honda has re-released with the monkey bike. I still like my bike better. I like the Grom, the looks of the Honda Grom better. So what else? Yeah, it'd be nice to see Suzuki come out with a mini bike. So, and it would be nice to see Yamaha. So we got two of the big players. We got Honda and Kawasaki with the mini bikes, and we're hoping that Suzuki will come out with a mini bike, which would be really nice. If not, hey. And also among the small players, Kymco. The Kymco Spade looks like an up-and-coming bike to beat. Like I said, it has more power than the Grom, the same size of wheels as the Grom, but it's a little bit longer. And you know, I think they're aiming that bike more toward like a cafe race or whatever. But yeah, I look forward to trying that bike. I'm very interested in that also. Who knows, in a couple years I may have that bike. Okay, well, anyway, I just want to do a little update on the Grom and let everybody know, those out you that are Grom fans, that this bike is off the chain. I would highly recommend not doing anything to it as far as the engine or anything. Keep that Honda reliability. Just realize that it's you know, it's a 125, and you're not going to be doing 70 miles an hour down the highway. I think if you take it as that, just say, hey, it's your 50 mile an hour bike, you'll be doing something, 50 something on the highway, you'll be good. Also, something that I did early on when I got the bike, I put this this heavy duty power port right there on my bike. I know it looks kind of weird being on top of the gas tank right there in the middle, but I haven't had any problems with it. You know, I got a couple screws, screws that weren't too long, and drilled them in the plastic or whatever else, and it's been great. You know, it's nice because I can run my cell phone, and this thing is waterproof too, it's watertight. So you can pick that up at Walmart for like $8, guys. I just plug my cell phone, whatchamacallit there. There we go. My USB port, and I got my RAM. I highly recommend getting a RAM phone mount. It does great on the motorcycle. So those are some things that you might want to do. It's kind of cool. You can see the USB port lit up with my power port there. What else? Also, what I did earlier on when I got the Honda Grom was this bike rack. I mean, this rack that I put on the back of it. It's doing well too. It's a steel rack, does really good, and my GV box. So I know some of the guys are upgrading their brakes, this and that. I don't see the need for it. You know, I've been riding a long time, guys. You know, I had a KLR 650 for like 13 years, and I had Honda motorcycles before that, dual sport bike. So I don't know it all, but I know that there are some things you don't need. You know what I'm saying? So on the motorcycle. So I just encourage people to save your money, get necessary upgrades. If you have the Grom, necessary upgrades are the front and the rear suspension. Necessary upgrades. I wouldn't touch the engine. That way you keep that Honda reliability. You know, like I said, you'll always be able to do 50 something on the highway. That's good enough. What else? Also, a lot of people get the fender eliminator. They say they hate this thing right here on the back of the Honda motorcycle. Well, let me tell you something. I absolutely love that big old thing. You know why? It keeps me safe. It keeps me seen. I'm not trying. I know that everybody wants to go stealth with the little bitty dinky. They want to go stealth with the little bitty dinky turn signals. I don't. Not at all. I like the fact that thing is big and bulky. I got my tail light right here, my license plate light. Got my turn signals. You can see me. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. And then on the front, I don't know why people complain about those. I think it's awesome. That's what keeps you alive, is when you can be seen, you will stay alive, okay? All right, that's DJ. Also, one other thing I did with the motorcycle that was necessary. Even my rear view mirrors right here, you see that? I got them at a motorcycle shop in Florida. I don't know who makes them, but they have been very reliable. Every now and then, maybe every 3,000-4,000 miles, I got to tighten up the set screw. Other than that, they do great. I got one here too. I really can use one, but I think it looks really cool to have them at the side like that. Pretty dope. Kind of gives me a custom look. All right, guys. Also, something I did different, you may want to do. I actually painted this. You can't see it because it's dark. This tire cover, I painted it myself. But anyway, you can't see it. All right. That's DJ over and out with my latest Honda Grom updates. Take it easy.